Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, Bulls fans. My name is Chicago Karl. Before we get into it, I just want everyone to know to hit the subscribe button down below and leave a like for more Bulls content. As you can see, I post daily NBA recap videos and I post a video every single day about the Bulls. So leave a like and subscribe for that, and check in more after this video for future content. Without further ado, let's get into the title of today's video. Does Nikola Vucevic make this Bulls team an instant playoff contender? Now, I know that the Bulls were still in position to make the playoff in that play-in tournament format before the Vucevic trade. They were the 10th seed in the East, and that would put them in a battle for that play-in tournament. But what I'm asking here is, do I think Nikola Vucevic pushes his Bulls team to that 7+ seed? You know, do I think that Vucevic pushes them out of that play-in sort of bracket? And you know, let's just get into the pros really quick. I think what Vucevic does compared to Wendell Carter is I think Vucevic really does a good job of spacing the floor, especially with Zach LaVine. I think not only will Vucevic's presence be felt with him on the team alone, but I think he will do a great job in elevating the games of Zach LaVine. Guys like, I think, Lauri Markkanen now will be able to create a bit more efficient. I think him bringing Al-Farouq Aminu really helps his Bulls team a lot too. They have some chemistry together, so I think he's going to do a good job of spacing the floor. Nikola Vucevic can shoot the three. He can get a good mid-range game going. He has a very good post game, and on top of this, you know, Vucevic isn't going to be bullied on the boards. He's going to be a guy that's going to get you the rebounds you need night in and night out. I mean, he's averaged a double-double for the majority of his career, and that's perfect for this Bulls team. That's what they need. With Wendell Carter Jr., they didn't really get that. You know, I was listening to an ESPN show today, and they were talking about that, and a lot of analysts were saying, like, they didn't like the Wendell Carter pick the day it was made because he didn't really showcase anything. You know, he's a top 10 pick, and with a top 10 pick, you want to see something important. And in Wendell, I didn't see anything important at Duke. I don't see anything important. I didn't see him do anything important in Chicago. You know, I don't think he contributes a whole lot to this Bulls team, and I don't think he's going to contribute a whole lot to that Magic team. Granted, he is young. He still does have time to develop. He still does have time to put up better production numbers, but you know, I don't think he really was the good fit for Chicago. Also, there were times, you know, the big contrast between Vucevic and Carter is that there were times where Carter would essentially clog the lane, and like he served no purpose clogging the lane because it wasn't like he wasn't a very efficient and effective scorer. He wasn't a very efficient and effective rebounder, and when he clogs the lane and doesn't let guys like Zach LaVine create shots for himself, the Bulls are really just stagnant on offense at that point. They're not very productive with their possessions. But with Vucevic, I think that changes almost instantly. I know they're going to need some time to gel, and I think, you know, we need to be patient. They have their first game on a road trip, very long road trip against the Spurs, and then they go to the Warriors, and then the Suns, and then the Jazz. Right there, those are 4 away games that are going to be extremely tough for this Bulls team, and with these new additions, I'd be surprised if the Bulls get 2 of those games. They're going to get 1. You know, they might get that game against San Antonio. They might win a game against Phoenix. I mean, who knows? Utah lost to the Wizards earlier this week, so I mean, who knows? Also, Golden State does have Steph Curry, who's out, so they might snag a game here and there, but the offense does need to gel, and I don't even know if Vucevic will be ready for that Saturday night game because of the fact that I'm pretty sure he has to go through some protocol screening for COVID, and on top of his COVID protocol thing, I'm also pretty sure that, you know, he's just going to take a day off just to sort of get entwined with the Bulls and what they're doing. But I do think he'll be ready for that game against the Warriors. So the Bulls right now, they're looking 19-24, like we said, 10th in the East. And like we said, they're right towards that threshold of being in that play-in bracket contention. They're right there. They're on the cusp of not even making that playoff bracket. But I think this Vucevic trade really does, I mean, bolster the Bulls' stock. I think the Bulls instantly move up in the standings, and they instantly move up from being an average team in the East, which is what they were before the Vucevic trade, to being definitely, you know, top 5 team, I'd say. And I don't think that's an understatement. I mean, they're getting 2 extraordinary all-stars. They're getting Vucevic, like we said, bolstering the court. He's going to do a great job spacing the floor, and this is going to bring out the best in Zach LaVine, I think, which is what I haven't seen a lot of people talking about. I think Zach LaVine, with his Vucevic trade, is going to be putting up better numbers, and he already has been putting up great numbers, but I also think he's going to help put up good numbers for guys like Patrick Williams. I think this even elevates the game of Thaddeus Young. You know, I think this could even help out guys like Kobe White this year, who has had a bit of a down year. So I think I like that. I really like that a lot. And I think Vucevic is going to be a heavy presence that's going to be felt in Chicago, hopefully for years to come. And I hope this is not a rental. He is on the wrong side of 30, so there is that. And a lot of people are talking about the fact that they think they could see Vucevic decline in 2 or 3 years. But I don't know how I really feel about that, because if you look at his game, he is athletic. I'm not saying he's like Tim Duncan, old man basketball, but he also is, he's not a guy that is just reliant on his legs and athleticism to get him points. He's more reliant on his size and the presence he brings with his shooting and whatnot. And I don't think Vucevic is really going to see like extraordinary decline until age 34, 35 at least. So I think the Bulls have, at max, I'm going to give it 5 seasons, 6 seasons maybe, with Vucevic at his peak, or at least a very serviceable and even all-star profile for Vucevic. So that's how I feel about that. I think this Vucevic trade does put the Bulls in playoff contention, and I mean real playoff contention, not play-in contention. The big test, though, is going to be these pretty early games coming up right after the trade deadline. We said it. We said Golden State, San Antonio, then they go to Phoenix, and then Utah. I mean, they're playing some of the heaviest teams in the West, and it's going to be very tough for the Bulls to generally get past these teams. But I feel confident in them. I don't see why they can't. And then after that, we do return home for a game against the Nets. And then we go on another pretty long road trip. We have Indiana, Toronto, Atlanta, Minnesota, Memphis. Then we're back home in that order against Vucevic's former Jazz. So that'll be a good test of time. I'm excited to see what he can do. I am very, very bullish on Vucevic. If I had the choice right now, I'd be buying a ton of Vucevic stock. I'd be buying a ton of Bull stock. I really, really, really like this move. I'm very excited to see what Vucevic can do for this Bulls team. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of this video. If you liked what you heard, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. You can check us out on Twitter at Chicago Karl. You can check us out on Instagram at chicagokarl.yt. Have a nice day, guys. Be nice to each other. I'm out.